Nanti I bagi you susun number.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Class 4, Thesis Literature Metrics, Litmaps.AI, Google Scholar, and Literature Writing. My name is Saranamudan, the digital marketer of ZASS Brain, your MC for today. For an introduction, these webinars comprise of 4 classes that were held throughout the year 2023, and this is the final class of this webinar. For today, we will cover class 4 topics. The class will begin at 10:10 a.m. to accommodate any participants who may encounter delays and need extra time to join.
Many perceive that they are not smart for a PhD. Guys, I scored only one A1 in my O level and SPM. Can you guys believe that? And I managed to complete my PhD before time, 2 years and 11 months. And I published 12 solid papers while doing my PhD. Remember this very carefully. You don't need to be smart for a PhD. I am the very example of that. You just need to be motivated and determined and work your ass off for that. So, for those who almost want to quit, I know PhD is getting tougher. Trust me. Okay. In case if you need any help, you need any support, click the Get Code button. We provide a range of services that will, and I can guarantee that we will get you through. Don't worry. When I look back into my PhD days now, I am just glad that I fought through, made my parents very proud, managed to shape a very good career path, and even travel the world while doing what I love the most. All thanks to my PhD. Remember something, ultimate goal is to complete your PhD, and if possible, as soon as possible. Okay? Life is too short for a century-long PhD. Long PhD not necessarily will give you more knowledge. You can still learn after your PhD. But the time that you lost while doing your PhD can never be earned back. 4 tricks to choose PhD research topic. Number 1, focus on a topic that is doable. More than anything, be realistic. Don't try to be Einstein within 3 years. Remember, Albert Einstein only did some of his best work after his PhD, not before. If a topic is related to your job, like robotics design, for example, but the question you need to ask, can your university support or has enough equipments and tools to support your research? Perhaps you can look into management or social angle of robotic development. So you take a step back, you look at different angle that is a bit more realistic that you can do. Number 2, timing. Can I do it in 3 years? Better plan it out, my friend. Or you will be doing your PhD for 14 years. So always do a very, very important time estimation. Now, number 3, can you find a gap in any particular area that you're focusing? Robotics, management related. What is the actual problem? Any particular issue that you can solve? This is the most important question you should ask after you want to look into a specific sector or specific area. And this is step 1 in our 12 steps consulting framework. So let's go to the final one. Number 4, once you have covered a gap that we mentioned in number 3, now you need to speak to your supervisor. Remember, your supervisor is the ultimate boss in your journey. Make sure that he or she is happy with your topic, because without your supervisor's blessing, you can't go very far in your journey. I'm being very honest. Writing thesis. Today, I'm going to share with you a comprehensive table of content based on the template that I have designed in chapter 1, which should be around roughly 20 pages. Could be more, could be less. We can start with introduction with background of the study, problem statement, research question and objectives, scope of the study, significance of the study, definition of key terms and summary of the chapter. Then we jump to chapter 2. It's around 60 pages. 2.0, overview of subject under investigation. This will come from your title itself. If you don't know what is subject under investigation, kindly comment. 2.1, nature or fundamentals of the subject under investigation. Then you move to underpinning and supporting theories. Then you go to theoretical framework, literature and description of all related variables to your subject under investigation. Then you go to hypothesis development, operationalization of variables, summary of chapter. Done chapter 2. In chapter 3, you must have roughly around 15 to 20 or 25 pages or so. Start with 3.1, measurement of variables or instrumentation. Okay, this is your instrument lah. Experimental instrument, questionnaire, can be anything. 3.2, population. 3.3, sampling. 3.4, data analysis technique. Then 3.5, pilot test. 3.6 can be data collection procedures. Summary of chapter, done. Your proposal should be done already. PhD or masters, this is where you end your proposal. This is how we follow chapter 1 to 3 when we finish our step 2 coaching. Always refer back to our 12 steps process. That is how we go step by step coaching and consulting to complete your journey. Now let's go to chapter 4. Chapter 4 start with introduction. Remember, this is quantitative centric, should be around 30 pages or more or less. Quali can be different, experimental can be different, quasi-experimental can be different. So now 4.1 introduction, 4.2 response rate, 4.3 data coding, 4.4 run response bias, 4.5 common method bias, 4.6 data screening, 4.7 assessment of blah 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 blah. You guys can read at the back. 4.8 assessment of the measurement model, 4.9 structural model, 4.10 assessment of the effects size. Wow. 4.11 multi-group analysis, 4.12 summary of chapter. Now we are moving to the final chapter. Chapter 5, start with introduction, and the whole chapter should be around 20 to 30, maybe 25 pages. 5.1, recapitulation of the study. That means revisit the study lah, not to be so complicated again. 5.2, demographic profile of the respondents. 5.3, research objective question related discussion. That means you tune back to your chapter 1 and you also need to tune back to your chapter 2. This is where the tuning happens. 5.4, implication and limitation. Finally, 5.5, conclusion, finish, finito, finish and go back home. Done. Okay, this is all your thesis is about. Sounds very easy. Actually, it's a lot more than that, but this is your baseline. This is how you can design and complete your thesis. Make sure you share this with all your network. They all should know how to design their own thesis. Table of content. This is how we will coach and consult students throughout their entire journey. Share, comment, like. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. How do we get an award-winning thesis? One of the most important elements in a thesis or proposal is its language delivery. Then only people will be able to understand what you're trying to present in your thesis or proposal. So today, I'm going to share a very, very important thesis from Dr. Tun Irfan. Last year, he won Best Thesis Award at UTM. Here is a page from the thesis in its original form, and I'm going to proofread with only Grammarly. Okay, turn on track changes, and then we go to Grammarly. We open Grammarly prompt and let Grammarly scan through the entire thesis. Here we go. We can get all the recommendations of Grammarly already. Okay, so you can see in paragraph 1, it gave some changes, and then you can see second paragraph, it gave some decent recommendation, and then pretty much that's it. The biggest question here, is that enough? Let me show you how we would do it. Okay, let me edit that. Let me do a fast forward editing. Paraphrase, we're going to go through every word. You see, even the first paragraph, it's completely transformed. Okay, as you can see, second paragraph, we go grilling and drilling again. How would the final product look like? You can see within the first page itself, second page, and if we keep going, you can see it's full transformation. Hence, this is the reason why last year UTM presented this thesis with the best award. This is why we dare to give lifetime language warranty. But remember, for all the graduate students out there, masters, PhD, even bachelors if you want, come over. We are offering up to 30% discount on our language services. Somewhere in January 2023 and got rejected right after 1 month. Scopus Journal for PhD, Masters, or even for KPI requirement. Is it tough? I'm not going to answer that right now, because I am going to walk you through the entire publication journey, so you know exactly what is coming for you. Here is a paper accepted in Scopus Journal Q2. So this one was a recent acceptance in our firm. So how long it actually took to get this accepted? That's the question of the day. You have to understand. It is absolutely not easy to get a Q2 journal. Okay, you have to always understand that. And we managed to get it as part of the student's PhD graduation requirement. So, accepted. This paper belongs to Wong. Wong approached us, I think, somewhere early this year for coaching, consulting, and proofreading, all the way to publication. After completing the paper, me and Wong together, we submitted to World Journal of English Language. So we submitted somewhere in January 2023 and got rejected right after 1 month. That itself 5 months burned. Then we went for the third attempt. This time we submitted to Issues in Language Studies, a journal under Unimas. It's a Scopus Q2 journal, a fantastic journal. We submitted somewhere in May 2023 to June, around that range. And thankfully, we crossed the editor and went for the review process.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Class 4, Thesis Literature Metrics, Litmaps.AI, Google Scholar, and Literature Writing. My name is Saranamudan, the digital marketer of ZASS, your MC for today. For an introduction, these webinars comprise of 4 classes that were held throughout the year 2023, and this is the final class of this webinar. For today, we will cover Class 4 topics. The class will begin at 10:10 a.m. to accommodate any participants who may encounter delays and need extra time to join.
Mana Pak Rosni? Selalu lambatlah dia. Mutu, kau dia jap. Kau. Farouk. Kau ke mana tu? Kami dah start assignment tau. Dah pukul berapa sekarang? Cepatlah.
Sorry. Aku on the way ni.
On the way. Alasan lah budak ni.
3 hours later.
Yo, dah siap
Kau pergi mana tadi?
Aku tadi dah gerak. Gatal nak saling. Aku dah tahu jaga dia. Belok kanan dan belok kiri.
Sudahlah, jangan alasan banyak. Kami tak apa perangai kau. Sekarang, assignment dah siap. Kau hanya ambil assignment, cari tempat untuk printkan je.
Okey, relax. Benda ni tak ada masalah. Biar I yang settle. Okey, boleh? Macam ni.
Mula-mula, kau register dulu. Lepas tu, kau klik je upload and print untuk start. Lepas tu, upload je lah PDF yang tempat biru tu. Dan select print setting. Lepas settle semua, buat payment. Senang kan?
Tara! Dah settle! Mana papernya?
Jom, ikut aku.
Wah, senang betul weh!
Settle pun.
Lepas ni boleh lah print tengah-tengah malam waktu tengok bola.
Betul. Memang boleh. Aku dah cakap 24 jam. Korang boleh je minta tolong aku printkan. Lagi satu. Dengan ZASS print ni, boleh print anytime, anywhere. Sekali ZASS je. Okay. Hello sayang.
Kat mana tu?
I sakit perut ni yang.
Dia tadi nak jumpa kat City Mart kan?
Ya. Sorry sayang.
You ni benar asal tak on the way.
I tak cakap lagi I on the way. Okay sayang, on the way.
You on the way ke mana tu?
Selamat Dani. Hi, welcome to ZASS Print channel. In today's Miss Manager Desk, we will talk about how to use ZASS Print. To start, scan the QR code or type ZASS Print in your browser. Next, it's time to register as a new user or log in to your existing account. In the desktop, click on the Upload and Print button. Select your nearest kiosk and upload your PDF document. You can upload up to 10 documents. Select the print setting for each document. Click Next and confirm. Here you will see the print preview and order summary. Select your payment option and proceed to checkout. Select your bank and scroll down to proceed. Once the payment is settled, you will either be redirected automatically or prompted to log in to your ZASS Print account again. Here, you will find the Print Now button next to your document. Please remember to click the Print Now button only when you are physically present at the kiosk and ready to collect your printed documents. At the kiosk, your document will begin to print seamlessly. Settle, print anytime, anywhere with ZASS Print.
morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Class 4, Thesis Literature Metrics, Litmaps.AI. Can you guys hear me? Good morning.
Yes, can hear you. Yes.
Okay. We can start the class 4 now. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Class 4, Thesis Literature Metrics, Litmaps.AI, Google Scholar, and Literature Writing. My name is Saranamudan, the digital marketer of ZASS, your MC for today. For an introduction, these webinars comprise of 4 classes that held throughout the year 2023. All the recordings have been posted in YouTube channel. For today, we will cover only class 4 topic. The class will begin at 10:10 a.m. to accommodate any participants who may encounter delays and need extra time to join. This is the agenda for today, and I would like to remind all of you that this webinar will be recorded for future viewing. Please be informed that there is no Q&A session after the class. So, if you have any questions throughout the class, please feel free to type them in the chat box. Our speaker will do his best to address them during his session. Before we start, let me share with you the webinar house rule. Be respectful, keep it professional, mute your microphone, use the chat box, respect the presenter's time, no recording, and follow the agenda. Now, without further ado, let me introduce our esteemed speaker for today, Dr. Thavamaran Kanesen. Dr. Dhava is the founder and chief editor at Proofreading by AUK PhD and has more than 100k academician followers. He also had published more than 70 papers, mostly ISI. Dr. Dhava, thank you for joining us today. We are eager to hear your insights on this important topic. Let's get started. Over to you, Dr. Dhava.
Hello, Saran. Okay, thank you very much, Saran and Shikin, for organizing the class. I know this is a holiday week here in Malaysia, so we will get rather low participants lah, but that's okay. We just want to finish off all the classes. So we are also live on Facebook. I've turned on Facebook Live also. So with that, I think we can get started already. Let me share my screen. Okay, done. Right, so everyone can keep your chat box open, Keep your chat box open so that we can chat and we can discuss in the chat box. Spotlight for everyone. Okay. Okay, very good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are okay. How are you all today? Please let me know how you guys are feeling in the chat box. All okay? Just want to see if all of you can can access a chat box or not. Okay, all of you can access chat box. Okay, excellent. I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. Okay, so welcome back, everyone. We are already at the final class. Please do remind your friends to join in case they forgotten or something. Please let them know to join. Inform them to join, and then I think the joining link would be This would be the joining link. You guys can share with your colleagues, your friends, whoever, over WhatsApp group, Telegram group, or wherever. You guys can join, can share that. Let me also share in the Telegram group for everyone. Just give me a moment. Okay, done. On Telegram group also. So, okay. All right. So we are at the final class today, which we are going to focus our entire energy on literature matrix. Okay. Siu Fang, Prof, where can I find the first 3 classes? Okay, I think Saran already uploaded everything on their YouTube channel. So later on, you guys can request again in the group. So probably Saran can share the link lah later. Okay, so and even the 4th class today, he will upload later. All right. Yeah, I hope for the best also, Natasha. Drive safe. Okay, so today we are going to look at Litmaps, which is an AI tool, paid tool. So that's why I give you alternative also Google Scholar to generate literature matrix, which is a free tool. So we're going to go look at paid tool, free tool, and from there, how do we conduct literature writing? And today's class, I'm also going to give you a slight recap on all the previous classes for the benefit of everyone. Okay. So this is me. I'm Dr. Thawa. I finished my PhD in 2 years and 11 months, 10 years ago. All right. Never did my master's. I skipped my master's. Then I did my postdoc in Aston Institute of Photonics, Birmingham. And then I joined industry, Telecom Malaysia R&D. I was there for about 5 years. Concurrently, I also founded my own company, which is Proofreading by UK PhD. We are based at Cyberjaya. I'm the chief editor and founder of Proofreading by UK PhD. I'm also an adjunct lecturer with UTP, University of Technology Petronas. And these are all my other profiles, publication, patents, grants, and so on and so forth. Okay, so these are organization. We are an ISO 9001-2015 certified academic consulting firm. We are also recognized and endorsed by SFEP UK and Human Resource Ministry Malaysia. We are currently present in about 34 different countries. We are doing businesses in all these countries with various scholars from various universities as well. And we are most predominantly present, obviously, in Malaysia. And we work with all these universities closely as official proofreader and also as under MOU. This is the amount of documents we have completed so far. Okay, that can be thesis, articles, that means publication, Q1 to Q4, Scopus of Web of Science, and about 600 plus grants and CVs. But grants and CVs are always the smaller scope that we work on. And for today's class, whatever I'm going to share today will be very, very useful towards all of you producing your thesis, publication, and even to convert your thesis to journal as well. And we are also going to share and touch base on the language requirement, or rather the proofreading requirements. Okay. All right. So as always, please participate. I want keyboard warriors. So ask questions, discuss. If you have any doubt, please feel free to ask. Okay. So to all the attendees today, some of you might probably joining for the first time. How many of you are joining for the first time? Never joined before. Please let me know in the chat box. Okay, first time. Okay, all right. I can't listen to voice. You need to trigger your headphone, Joshua. You need to check your settings. Okay, so for all those first timers, if you're not aware of our Facebook live classes, on Facebook, we have a huge playlist consists of free classes for you all to go and learn. Okay, so you can find those here. This is our Facebook page. Let me share the link with you all. This is the link to our Facebook page. You can click it and basically you'll arrive here. As soon as you arrive here, you can click the like or follow button, okay? And then select favorites so that you'll see the post higher in your feed. I know some of you might not use Facebook anymore, but this is just for learning purposes only so that you can get access to all our free classes. All right, so click that link or share in the chat box. Once you arrive here, click like and follow. And then as you scroll down, you can see there are many different notes and resources that we share that will be very, very useful for your research journey. Okay, confirm 100% will be very, very useful. You can basically go through that in your free time. And this content is also concurrently posted on our Telegram group as well. Okay, so with that, from there, you can click more, you can go to videos. Okay, under these videos, now presently we are live also on Facebook. So if you scroll down further, you can see a complete playlist of 129 videos. If you click see all, this is under video tabs, video tab. You can see all our free classes. Okay, example, this one is very, very hot. Problem statement, template for thesis proposal, 4,400 views already on Facebook. 4,400 views on Facebook is a very big thing. It's not the same as TikTok. So TikTok, if you get 10,000 views, in Facebook, you only get 500 views. So that is the ratio of equivalency. Okay, so this is problem statement class, literature review template for thesis and proposal, background writing, chapter 1, introduction writing, literature review part 2, part 1, and all this. Got many, many, many free classes you can watch and learn. Okay, so at your leisure time, whenever you want to learn new things, how to write paper, how to write journal, sorry, same thing, how to write journal, how to submit your journal, how to look for journal, how to write your problem statement, your chapter 1, your chapter 2, chapter 3, research question, research objective, everything is here. Okay, you can go and watch and learn. Hopefully, it will help you towards completing your master's and PhD. All right, so that is that. Then we also, on top of that, we also have many free templates, as you can see here. Okay, so in this year alone, we have shared a lot of new templates, and I've explained those new templates via this kind of online classes. So the first class this year, we spoke about literature search databases and how to summarize literature review and read a paper. And then in the second class, I shared about critical literature review, but I only shared the template, briefly spoke about it. But today we're going to deep dive into it. So today we're going to look into this template again, and this template will be again viewed today. This one was shared in the third class. Okay, so in case you missed it, later please communicate with Saran in the WhatsApp group, and he will guide you how to go and watch all the classes, recorded classes, for these 4 particular classes, okay, that you cannot find on Facebook Live. All right, a table of content, theoretical framework, and so on and so forth. We also have more classes actually. We also have, let me just erase this. We also have proposal defense Viva questions. Okay, then we have full thesis table of content. Good morning, Azrul. Good morning. Chapter 3 pilot study processes and database hierarchy for literature review. So anyone going through pilot study who wants to design the full thesis table of content, this is a template, proposal defense, and so on and so forth. We have newer templates. These are new releases. Chapter 1 introduction template and common comments from proposal defense or candidature defense, okay, in So these two also you can find in Telegram group. All right. So how to get to the Telegram group? Very simple. All you need is this link, which I'll share now. Okay. So here you go, guys. That is the link. So if you click that link, then basically you'll arrive here. So this is where you can actually find all the resources. These are the recent classes on my Facebook playlist I shown earlier. These two are upcoming new classes that you can register yourself. These are all our services. You can request your thesis journal templates here. You can also download it from our Telegram group. You see here, Dr. Tawa's Telegram group. So I'll give you 1 minute. Click that link and open this first. So it'll be easier for you all. Okay, so once you've arrived here, make sure that you follow our TikTok channel. We have more than 33,000 followers already. We have various content related to thesis journal in a more interesting way and a very short video. That is the beauty of TikTok. So it's not very long classes. We post very short content that can get you up to the speed very quickly. So TikTok channel, Telegram group, these are all the free video classes which I shown earlier. You can access directly from here. If you click this, it will directly get you to the complete playlist, as you can see here. All right. And these are all the free notes YouTube channel. Now let's go to Telegram group. Click this and you can join in. You can tune into our Telegram group already. So open Telegram desktop. So you'll be basically arriving here. All right. So from here, you can click this top menu here, or you can click the search button. If you don't see this on your mobile phone, just click the name. Okay, click the name and you can find the search button already. So click the search button, type templates. From here, you can see all the templates already. So everything is here, you see. Problem statement, SLR, systematic review, inclusion criteria template, theoretical framework, theoretical literature matrix, critical literature review. So you can download all from here. Okay, so let me click this. Templates for So you can download from here. All right, anyone having difficulty joining Telegram group, please let me know. I will try to help. So I believe all of you could join Telegram group. Okay. So long silence means I think you guys can join already. So I'll leave it at that. So today's class, we are going to recap 3 classes and the template processes very briefly. And then we're going to talk about types of literature matrices. Okay. Then exploring Google Scholar for matrix, exploring AI for matrix. Then from literature matrix, where do we go? All right. So if you guys missed out the previous classes, you can watch it from the playlist Saran will share later. I think we can skip the ice-breaking part. We can go straight to the previous classes. Okay, so in the first class, I shared about literature databases. Why? Okay, in the age of AI, which I'll show you today, I'll definitely show you today the actual evidence. In the age of AI, we say, why do I need to go to individual databases when I can get all the papers from an AI tool? Okay, actually, that is fundamentally flawed. It's not true. Okay, it's not true. Because most AI tools, paid tools, cannot get access to the major large databases. They cannot access. Especially Web of Science, Scopus, Science Direct, and so on, cannot be accessed by AI tools. So then you might say, but Elsevier paper from L Science Direct, I can access. Papers index in Scopus Web of Science, I can index. if that particular journal subscribe or they've given API. Okay, API means application protocol interface. If they give access to the AI tools, then the AI tool can access. But those only very weak journals will allow, because they also want to become famous. But when it comes to top journals, Taylor and Francis, Elsevier, Wiley, Journals Index and Web of Science, Scopus, cannot get access because they are already very famous. They don't need another AI tool to promote them, and they don't want to give free access to paid tools. Okay, Google Scholar can access, because Google Scholar is free. So they allow Google Scholar to access all the journals. So what happens then? You are basically, okay, so I haven't answered that question. You may read Elsevier paper, Wiley paper, Taylor and Francis paper in your databases, AI databases, AI tools database, and you might be thinking, oh, I can access. It's actually not. You are not accessing from Elsevier. You're accessing those papers. Maybe the authors uploaded in ResearchGate. Maybe the authors uploaded in academia.edu. Maybe in any other third-party websites, but not directly from the databases. So then what? I can access what? You can access only the ones uploaded. You cannot access all the journals. You can never get access to those. Okay, so that means you're missing out a lot. You're missing out essentially from very, very important papers, very, very important high quality papers. That's why I came up with these databases with all the links to allow you to go and search for paper. What happens if you don't access all the top-notch papers? I can still do my PhD and master's work. Yes, you can. But the problem is fear of missing out. FOMO. Okay, FOMO is very well known. We humans have very, very high FOMO, fear of missing out. What happens if you miss out? You go to defense, or you go to candidature defense or proposal defense. You go to Viva. Suddenly, one of the examiner shows you a paper from Elsevier, very high impact paper. The fellow tells you, you know what, this paper already did or already carried out research 70% similar to what you're doing. So why should I give you a PhD? That can happen and already happened couple of times. Okay, couple of candidates I've seen, they suffered from that. So be very, very careful with any tools that you use. Make sure that you conduct double or triple search across different platforms to assure that you're not missing out. Right? So that is the purpose of this template. You can download from my Telegram group for free. Okay, for free. And once you download, you want to summarize a paper. You want to summarize literature. You don't know which part to read and which part not to read, how to summarize, how to get essential content, and so on. So I came up with this template. I shown an example with this paper. We'll go through this paper today as well. We will not go through, we'll be using this paper today. And I have summarized that paper in this template. Similarly, just to show you an example, you can also read and summarize in this template very quickly. So every summary here, every column here can become a row in literature matrix. So this essentially, this whole content will go into one row. And similarly, every paper summary that you do will become individual rows. From there, you can easily form a literature matrix. So this summary template is one step before literature matrix. Okay, this template I shared in our second class. This one first class, then this was in second class. In second class, I only shared what is the template about, but I did not go into details. I never deep dive into all the details. Okay. Why do I need this template? Because I already summarized here. Then why do I need this some more? Okay, there were problems where students still don't know how to summarize this using this template, because it's not showing you how to read a paper. Okay, or it's not showing you how to be critical when you read a paper. So I came up with more complex template. This is way more complex template. So I went into very, very detailed structure on what you need to gather when you read a paper. All right. So example, this is critical literature review template. These are all the questions I created. When you read a paper, you need to answer. By answering, you will essentially start performing critical literature review. So from here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factors. Okay, 6 factors that you need to answer. And these are all sub-factors within the main factor. So in total, there are 17 sub-factors within 6 sub-factors that you need to answer when you read a paper. That way, you will predominantly or automatically will adapt towards being critical of what you read. Okay, let's go factor by factor. Okay, we'll go main factor by factor so that you will know how to use this template. You can download this also from Telegram group. Okay, the first one, I'm using this journal as an example. I love this paper because this paper is very easy to understand, even if you're not from information system area. Let's say you're from business social area, you can understand this. If you're from physics, engineering, or computer science area, you can also easily understand this paper. So this is rather a very general paper for you to understand. So from this, International Journal of Information Management, Impact Factor 21. Okay, it's a Web of Science Q1 paper, rank number 1. Okay, Impact Factor 21 ready now. They updated ready. Okay, from here, the title says Information System Capabilities. That means the ability or capabilities of information system and firm performance. How well a firm can perform. All right, that means how does a software, information system can be Grammarly, can be Turnitin, can be AI tools that you guys use to make your life easier, right? So same thing. How does information system capabilities, the software capabilities, improves a firm performance? And the authors introduce 2 different processes to follow. Okay, DMP process and BPP process. You don't need to know the details of this. Don't worry about this, but just explaining to you what the paper is about. Okay, from this, the first factor I asked, start by understanding the paper that you're reading. That's the first core item, right? Because some of us, not all of us, some of us, when we don't understand the paper, we tend to skip. We go to the next paper that we understand. Why? Are we lazy? No, we are not. We are skipping because we don't have time. We think, if I spend 3-4 days reading this paper because I don't understand, I'm going to waste 3-4 days. So I rather go and read a paper that I understand and I can move on quickly. But what we all don't realize is when you read a paper that you easily understand, you're not learning anything new. Essentially, you won't be learning anything new. That's the fact. That is the fact of life. All right, because it is something you already know in your head. You already came across something similar, so that's why you can easily understand. So most likely you won't be able to get the full value of the paper. But when you read a paper that you don't understand, when you spend 3-4 days reading other books, other resources to understand this one paper, that is where you start learning. That is where you start learning new things. You start getting new ideas, new problems that you can tackle. All right. So that's why it's very, very important to understand the paper that you're reading, even if it takes you extra time. And these are the 3 factors you can first answer. What are the focus areas of the paper? In this case, this paper, it focuses on firm performance in the perspectives of information system capabilities. It introduces DMP and BPP. DMP and BPP, right? Is the source relevant and reliable? This is very important for you to answer. So if your study is related to firm performance, in this case, enterprise resource management, information systems, DMP or BPP, then yes. So make sure you know what is your topic, what is your subject area, and then what paper you are reading. All right. And how sure are you the paper that you're reading is reliable or not? Okay. You need to find out if the paper is indexed in Web of Science or Scopus or not. And what is the quartile? What is the ranking? What is the impact factor? What is the side score? So in this case, previously, not now, it was Web of Science Q1, impact factor 18.958, absolutely reliable. Because when the impact factor is already very high, example, more than 2 or 3 itself, it's already very, very high quality paper. This one, in this case, recently, it got upgraded, this journal got upgraded further to impact factor 21. That's how crazy this journal is. It's globally ranked #1 in this area, information management area. Okay, so that means this paper is very, very, very strong, very reliable for you to read. Okay, next factor, familiarity with the subject area of the paper. That means how familiar you are, how can you understand the paper. So number 4, what are the recent developments? This is your familiarity with the area. When you read a paper, you need to know the past and the future. What is going on? What is happening in this ecosystem? That is called a researcher. You know what is going on in this knowledge area. So for number 4, go and search the paper in Google Scholar. Do a snowballing to understand the paper is still trending or not, still a hot topic or not. That can enable a gap. All right. So that's what we do in number 4. Then, if you don't know what is snowballing, don't worry. I'll introduce to you all what is snowballing later. Number 5, what are the appropriate methods of the paper? Number 5, this paper uses quantitative method. Is it suitable for your research? You need to answer this question. Is it enough or not for your paper? Okay, number 6, methods. Are the methods acceptable? Very, very important question. Every paper that we read, we must understand the methods. Otherwise, you won't understand the paper fully. Methods uses survey setting, 236 respondents, meets quantitative sampling size requirement or not, or any other methodological sampling size. Is it enough or not? You need to ask that question. And the instrument, questionnaire, transcript, or experimental system setup, equipments, everything is solid or not, whether calibrated, whether use the right reference, adapted from the right source, adopted from the right source. All this you need to verify also when you read a paper. Okay, because all this can create new gaps. All these questions can lead to new gaps. All right. Factor number 3. Once you understand the paper, you understand the methodology, then you go into critical analysis. Number 7, what are the strengths of the paper chosen? What is the strength of this paper? Why is this paper so important for you to read? You need to be able to answer that. So number 7, very unique study that addressed the conflicting finding of the usage of information system, implementation of a complex study with serial mediation, and proof that IS infrastructure is irrelevant. So that is the finding of this paper. You should be able to write like this. You can summarize the entire finding of the paper or strength of the paper. And what evidence have you found to support the strength? In this case, the analysis itself, the results of Amos. Okay, from there, number 9. Now, what are the weaknesses of the paper? Why this? Findings are limited to Turkey only. In this paper, the findings are rather limited to Turkey only. Can be applied in other parts of the world. That's a very important question for you to ask. Several other moderators, such as firm culture, financial implications, and so on, can be implemented. So these are the weaknesses of the paper. You basically build your gap from number 9. But you cannot answer number 9 if you don't understand the paper. Okay, then number 10, any controversies. Why? It's good to have controversial statements or controversial findings. Why do I say that? Okay, example. The controversy in this paper is only a single respondent per organization provided data, which is a huge weakness. Which is a huge weakness tending towards biasness. The paper is itself biased. The content itself is biased already. Okay, so that is a very good plus point for you to create something similar, change the demographic, add more variables, and make the methodology more concrete. Okay, that's why you need to read bits and pieces of the paper. Okay. Next, after you are critical now, you can apply your thought processes. So number 11, based on evidence gathered, what do you think of the paper? A new set of studies can be implemented related to firm culture, financial implication, and enterprise resource planning with better respondents. How does your own study research questions objectives link to this paper? So this part, you need to design a linkage and ensure there is a connection. That's how you can describe a literature review. Otherwise, you cannot describe it. Okay. Number 13, why the weaknesses or controversies need addressing. This is part of a significant study where in this example, many territories are left unexplored. It is the next stage of development. Enterprise resource planning is the way to go in this segment. Add references to support. This is my description lah. Okay. Next thing, number 14, how you intend to do it. What research method are you going to use? Number 14. Can you develop a better research method? In this case, probably I want to add qualitative observation as an additional method to carry out observation of the work performance. So based on all 14 items up to this item, you can easily design 15, 16, 17. Okay, what is 15? Let's structure a literature review. Number 15 is, what is the focus theme of your study? Okay, in this case, I'm going to focus on enterprise resource planning related study because that is the gap that I want to address, right? Number 16, how are you solving the problem of the paper? I'm going to implement quantitative and qualitative observation. I'm going to do both. Mixed method lah. Number 17, what would be the scope of your thesis? Number 17, to introduce a new set of findings, policies on the implementation of ERP. That's my end goal. This is what I want to do. All right. So by reading a paper, I already know this is the gap, this is what I can do. That's why you take more time, you read, but essentially you get to a point that makes you more concrete, makes your entire study more concrete. Okay. All right. From there, all the information that you already have, you can easily create a column or a row in literature matrix. Okay. So you can keep adding as you read other papers. You keep adding, adding. So you will see from all of that, you'll be able to see a limitation. You'll be able to see a theory, what theory will be suitable. You'll be able to see what will be the variables that you can reuse, use, mix and match, bring in new variables and so on. And you'll be able to concretely look at what you want to do. But one thing I need to emphasize here, literature matrix is not compulsory. Okay, it is not. Essentially, absolutely, it is not. But it is good to do. That means, let's say you are a research student where you already found your gap. You already know your literature very well. You can just write it into paragraph. Then you don't need literature matrix. But let's say you are struggling. You cannot find gap. Very, very hard for you to do that. Then you can try out literature matrix method. You can try. Okay. So that is the essential part of it. Now, how many of you here, okay, how many of you here wants a copy, the Word version of this template? Okay, of this template I already shared in Telegram, but only in PDF. How many of you here wants a Word version of this template? I want to hear very loudly from all of you in the chat box. With full spirit, full of energy, because Friday morning is very sleepy morning, right? Weekend is coming. So I want to see how many of you want it. So I'll be able to share it. Okay, so I can see a lot of energy today. So all of us can wake up a bit. Put my hands up. Okay. All right. So I'll share the Word version with you also. You can edit. But some of you might be thinking, I know some of you quite silently thinking in your mind, I am not using quantitative method. I'm not looking towards variable. I might be doing PhD in engineering, medical, chemical, physics, nuclear engineering, all kind of things. I might be doing qualitative. So this is not exactly relevant to me. So what kind of literature matrix can I do? Okay. So how if my background is not social science? Or how about if I'm using quali method? Let's see other examples. That's where we go into number 2, types of literature matrices. Okay. From here, this is a matrix for medical area. Okay, medical area. So in medical area, this is a very good example of you. Anyone from health sciences, medical area here? Okay. This is a very good example. And please stay until the end. I am going to show all of you today my recent alumni, my recent client, I would say my recent student who we consulted and coached from the beginning until she completed her PhD last August, where she passed without correction. In UM, okay, in UM, passed without correction. We guided her throughout the whole way. I'm going to show her literature matrix to you as well. All right. So this is an example for medical area where you have the author, source, domain, research design, participants, key findings. So this is how you can do literature matrix if you're from health sciences. Then you have computing and engineering areas. Okay. For those from engineering, computer science, and so on, you can talk about technologies versus all the other assets. In this example, they talk about IoT, where they relate to machinery, equipment, buildings, vehicles, inventories. So they jot down all the features. And based on these features, they'll create new solution. This is another way to do literature matrix for different subject areas. Okay, then we have literature review matrix for social sciences. This one is very detailed one. Okay, list of review papers. So this is very, very comprehensive. So I'm showing this example. So you have papers, dependent variables, independent variables, other variables, theoretical approach, method, data, region. Okay, this is another way of doing for quantitative matrix. Okay, then you have quali. How many of you doing qualitative here? I know Sheila doing qualitative. Anyone doing qualitative and mixed method? Okay, anyone else? Quick. Let's go. Mixed method quali, mixed method quali. Okay. For those who are working towards quali and mixed method, maybe this would not be suitable, especially mixed method lah. Maybe you don't want to talk about the variables, you want something very general. So this is a good way to do it. Okay. Summary of literature review matrix, authors, topic, methodology, findings, implications. I will share the notes on this later. You can go through it. So under topic is where you can start creating themes after you do the analysis. You can start plugging out all the themes. Okay. All right. So from this we know, doesn't matter the subject area, you can do literature matrix according to your own subject area. But when should I do the matrix? This is the important question that all of us don't know. Should I do at the beginning? Because if I change my topic, the whole matrix will go waste. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to do literature matrix. So if possible, people just want to skip it, but it's very powerful. So now you need to know when you should do literature matrix. All right. So how many of you here never, ever seen this diagram before? Never. Okay, never seen before. This particular diagram. Okay, all right. Still got many never seen before. Okay. So this is our 12 steps consulting framework for PhD and master's thesis and publications. All right. So from here, we have PhD proposal and we have PhD thesis. Or master's proposal, master's thesis lah. Okay. So from here, all right. Okay, Jaja. So from here, we have two different phases. I still need to explain because many of them never seen before. So I'll still put the effort to explain to all of you. So we have PhD or master's proposal, PhD or master's thesis. Now, when do you start literature matrix? But before we get into that, this is the diagram that we will use to coach and consult students, even supervisors also, on when and where to strategize their publications as well. Okay, but now coming to the diagram itself, first thing we need to always do is step number 1, 10 pages proposal. Okay, preliminary proposal. So don't write your chapter 1 to 3 immediately. Start with a simple 10 pages proposal first. 10 pages proposal won't be comprehensive. It won't be comprehensive. Keep that in mind. Okay. It will be, it will give you the solution. It will give you the theory. It will give you the RORQ and so on. But it won't be comprehensive because it's only 10 pages. It's only so much you can write. And please don't do your literature matrix here. Don't. You know why? Because this is the phase that you go for topic selection or sort of title selection or your focus that you want to look at. All right. You might get a very vague research gap or something that you want to work on. So you and your supervisor can agree on a specific area that you guys want to work on. Why I say so? If you do literature matrix here and you work on a topic, suddenly your supervisor say, no, I don't want. You have to scrap the whole thing, including the literature matrix also. So that's why we don't want to do it here. You get an agreement on the topic first with a very vague or very surface level research gap, but you can convince supervisor that you're going to deep dive after that. So once you deep dive, when you go into chapter 1 to 3, about 50 to 80 pages for your proposal, this is where you can start doing your literature matrix. Again, if you want to, not compulsory, but if you want to do literature matrix, this is the right place for you to do your literature matrix. Okay, this will be the right place for you to do, which this literature matrix later, you can reuse it for your publication. You can just plug and play. You can, all right? But again, it is not compulsory. So in case if you come to us for coaching and consulting for your proposal, PhD, masters, and so on, please mention earlier if you need literature matrix. You need to mention, you need to mention. Okay, after you finish your full proposal, like today, I'm going to share with you about Dr. Sharifa's thesis. This is the steps that we followed for her. Right after your, and okay, one more thing. When you write a chapter 1 to 3 here, make sure you go chapter by chapter. Give to your supervisor, let them smile first, then go chapter 2. Give to supervisor, let them smile. When I say let them smile means make sure they give comment, you revise, they give comment, you revise until they're happy. Then you move to chapter 3 and so on and so forth. Don't write all chapter 1 to 3, pop, and then submit. Don't do that. Okay, don't ever do that. Okay, from there, make sure you proofread. Grammarly is a very good tool, but it is never enough. That's the whole problem with Grammarly. Grammarly is actually very good, okay, but it is not deep enough. I spoke about it many times on my TikTok page. It doesn't deep dive into the language. It only checks and corrects and replaces for grammar only. But the problem here is not only grammar. The problem here is storytelling, story flow, right? That's where human-based paraphrasing, proofreading, very, very important. And we also provide lifetime language warranty and certificate as well. So you don't need to worry about your language going wrong because you're covered under warranty. Okay, from there, you go to step number 4, prepare for defense. This is also a place, all the parts here we will coach. Step by step we'll coach. And then the step number 4 also, we will coach. We will teach you how to build slides. We'll prepare you to go for defense. We will teach you how to go and defend your work and so on and so forth. Okay. Then from before you go for defense, you can also start writing your journal papers. Okay, start writing your systematic review. This is what I explained in class number 3. So make sure you guys go and watch my class number 3, okay? Systematic review and conceptual review. Why? Why should I start writing so early? I want my life is already difficult. Why? If you don't make it very difficult now, you will suffer later. Why? Because publication takes time. Okay, publication takes very, very long time. 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. Okay, we try to publish a lot of papers for our clients. Yesterday or day before yesterday, we got 1 acceptance after 7 months. 2 more went for major revision after I would say 5 to 8 months, I think. So it takes time. So you don't want to be writing paper when you're already very close to Viva. Viva is here. Okay. You don't want to write paper after you collect all the data, because from here to here, it can take very long time to get a paper out. But if you don't have paper, you cannot graduate. So you might as well start early with review papers. My advice, always review paper, try to publish in Scopus. But if UM requirement is Web of Science, then you try for Web of Science. Okay. So this is what I taught in the 3rd class. So this is how normally after we finish this, we will coach the students on how to extract journals from the proposal itself. So you don't need to wait until the end. After your proposal defense, which you will do before candidature defense in UM, you do your corrections. Do your corrections very precisely. This is another part that I realized. Students who don't proofread, who don't paraphrase, who only proofread Grammarly, usually here, 80 to 90% of the time, they end up with major correction because the writing is not clear. The writing, the language is very, very important, not just grammar, but the whole storytelling itself. All right. So to avoid that, make sure you do proofreading here. However, once you come up with the comments here, we will again coach you, teach you how to address all the comments. We'll teach you how to do all the table of response as well. Okay. Then you go into data collection. So your candidature defense CD will come somewhere here. Okay, there's an additional step in UM lah, CD. So we normally, when it comes to data, we work on eViews, we work on Stata, for secondary data. We work on SPSS, secondary data for eViews and Stata, then primary data work on SPSS, Amos, Smart PLS, Quali work on NVivo, sometimes we work on Atlas, but mostly NVivo lah, mostly NVivo. And then work on MATLAB, chemical analysis software, physics analysis software, and so on and so forth. Then we produce chapter 4 and 5, finish it. But before this, you'll have somewhere here a candidature defense. Make sure you finish that, finish your chapter 4 and 5, integrate them together. Step number 9, you take your latest chapter 1 to 3, your 4 and 5, you integrate them together. All right. Then from there, you extract more journals, you extract more empirical papers. Okay, so empirical papers here are additional papers for you, which are Web of Science worthy. Easily can get into Web, not easy lah, more robustly can get into Web of Science, right? So, and also you can do meta-analysis. Meta-analysis is something that we are very proud we will do most of the time, but I can tell you it's very, very complex to do meta-analysis. Okay, then make sure you proofread again before you go to your Viva, because you want to send the best quality of your thesis, the best form of your thesis to your examiners. Okay. Some people do proofreading after their Viva. I'll ask them, what is the point? Why you want to do proofreading after Viva? No point. Because after Viva, you're just going to, after your Viva, after correction, they're just going to keep your hardbind your thesis and keep it. So why you want to waste money then? Do it before your Viva so that your examiner gets to read and understand the best of your work, the best of your product that you want to sell. Then prepare for Viva. Similarly to proposal defense earlier, we will teach you how to do slides. We will do mock Viva with you, prepare you for Viva. After your Viva, this is where we will guide you and take you through Viva correction. We will teach you how to do Viva correction. Okay, so these are all the steps you need to follow. Again, this is where you do literature matrix, and that literature matrix can be used as part of your journals here if you want to do, and can also be used here as part of your empirical journal. All right. Now, how do we assist students and supervisors also? Okay, so we normally, nowadays, we don't focus on this much. We focus more on this. Mode 3 and Mode 4. Mode 3 focuses on accelerated thesis consultancy. Mode 4 is on content editing for special cases. Okay. What is accelerated thesis consultancy? We will build a coaching plan, a very, very detailed coaching plan, section by section, chapter by chapter, we will guide you through. All right. And mode number 4, for special cases, we will content edit the content for you. But here, we also do consultancy coaching for publication, proposal, thesis, and so on and so forth. Even for analysis also, time to time. All right. Okay, now let's go to Google Scholar for Matrix. Okay, before we go into Google Scholar, I let you comprehend all the information first. Let's take 5 minutes break. We come back and then we continue into Google Scholar for Matrix and then AI tool for literature matrix. How we can quickly, the essential part of today's class is how to swiftly and quickly do literature matrix. How to quickly get sources for literature matrix. That's what we want to look at today. Okay, so let's take 5 minutes break before we get into the essential part. If any of your friends haven't joined yet, please ask them to join. Okay, remind them to join. Okay, so let's take a break and come back in 5 minutes.
Hello, sir. Are you talking? We can't hear your voice.
Okay, so everyone, welcome back. Let's continue our class. So 5 minutes break done. I think slightly more already, but anyway. So we're going to now look at exploring Google Scholar for Literature Matrix. Okay, so we're going to go into this particular paper, which is this paper. All right, we're going to explore this paper together. Not explore this paper, we're going to explore the literature matrix, okay, from this paper. We're going to use this as a guideline to understand how Google Scholar works for literature matrix, what feature we can use within Google Scholar to produce matrix, and then also the AI tool. Okay, so this is a matrix given in this paper, and I'll explain to you why I have some highlights here. Okay, some highlights here. Okay, so let's go to literature. Let me copy the title of the paper first. All right, then go here, we paste, we search for the paper. So this is the paper. So how many of you here have explored this button down here before this? Cited by, or never explored, never click this button before. This cited by or related articles, whenever you search on Google Scholar. Have you guys clicked this button before? Okay. Some of you said yes, some of you say sometimes, some of you said never. Okay. For those who want to produce literature matrix, the quickest way for you to find out relevant papers, that means first you must have a seed article. Okay, remember, you must have a seed article. What is a seed article? This seed article will be your fundamental paper or your seed lah. Okay, when you want to grow a tree, first you have is a seed. The tree here is your PhD and Masters. This seed is the beginning or the main idea where you want to create a research gap. So you must always have one or several seed articles. So in this case, we choose this as our seed article. From here, I want to click this particular button, related articles. So I click this, I get all the related articles. That means cross-cited, the paper that cited the papers that referenced in this literature, the paper that cited this literature, everything will be cross-referenced in this button. So you have up to 5 tabs. Okay, all these are papers that might be relevant to your seed article. Remember, when you start PhD or Masters, find your seed article or your core article. There are 2 terms you can use. Some people call it core, some people call it seed. Okay, so from here, when I analyze through this, all these 5 tabs, and I compare with the literature matrix given in this article itself, okay, the yellow color are the articles I can find in Google Scholar. All right, so that means all these Tippins, Ravichandran, Stoll, Chen, Kim, Perez, Chen, Wang, all these cannot be found in Google Scholar. It did not cross-reference these articles in the literature matrix. So this shows the efficiency rate of Google Scholar or the intelligence of Google Scholar, how it can actually cross-reference precisely. So let's do a count. Total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 articles in this matrix. Of 14 articles, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 can be found in Google Scholar. So 6 out of 14. That is not even 50%. That shows the efficiency of Google Scholar. First problem, Google Scholar is free. So it's not really very intelligent. All right. But Google Scholar is very good because it has access to more than 170 million articles. Okay, remember this, more than 170 million articles. Why is that important? Because it shows the comprehensiveness of Google Scholar. But it requires you to do extra task for you to get a very efficient literature matrix. So rather than you go and read one by one, at a click of a button, you can get the related articles already. So here, less than 50% efficiency can be found in Google Scholar. So what can you do to overcome this problem? So we realize now not all articles are given by related articles feature. So you can go, alternative should be forward and backward snowballing. Okay. This one requires additional work, additional task or additional operations that you have to carry out. What is backward snowballing? Backward snowballing is basically going through the references of the seed or core article, choose relevant references and include in your matrix. So basically you go to the paper, you go to the reference list, you do backward snowballing. So that means you go through all of these, you pick out manually all the papers that you think will be relevant to your study. Okay, so this one requires a bit of manual labor lah, because it's free. So there's nothing much we can do. All right, Google also don't want to invest so much of we don't have any other choice but to do a bit of manual labor. So that is backward snowballing. Then another option is forward snowballing. So how do you do forward snowballing? Forward snowballing is basically the papers that cited the journal that you're trying to make as seed article. So from the seed article, you want to see from 2019 onwards, which journals have cited this particular article, right? This particular article. So you click here, cited by 207. Okay, remember this number, 207 articles have cited this particular paper. So if you click this is called forward snowballing. You can see this is all new ones. 2020, 2020, 2021, 2020, and so on. So 2019 onwards, future. That's why we call it forward snowballing. Just now is reference. That means back in time. So we reverse snowball. Okay, because you're going back in time. Those are the terminologies. Keep this in mind. So if you look at this, you can go through all the tabs here to find out the papers that might be relevant to you. Need to do a bit of manual labor. So that is Google Scholar for you all. Free, but need manual labor. But it is the most comprehensive database that has access to Science Direct, Wiley, Taylor Francis, Sage, Web of Science, Scopus, everything. All right, everything. Okay. So I already shown you that. Now let's look at an AI tool, an alternative method. Okay, that will actually give rise to a more efficient way of searching. But again, remember this particular number. This particular number, you need to not forget. 207. Remember this number. How to detect? Okay. How to detect which is our core article is a bit tough for me to answer. You need to go and find out which would be the most important paper for you. That is for you to find out. I cannot give you categorically how to find out, but when you read a paper, you know this paper is first established, that is proposing a certain solution that you want to find problems in. That can be your seed article or core article. You need to have one when you start. Okay. It may change time to time. Your seed article may change at certain juncture of your study. Muhaimin, doctor, should our research be really close to core article? What about novelty? No, not close to the core article. You don't need to be close. You need to be innovative from the core article. That means from the seed article, what are you going to propose as the new item, as the new study? Okay, because novelty is overrated. To be honest to you, all of you the word novelty is overrated. In this current arena, in the world that we are living in, no PhD is novel anymore. Okay, everything is incremental research. This is the realization that every academician should come to. When they say novel, it's actually no more novel. You're not creating new particles. You're not doing what Einstein did. You're not creating black body radiation. You're not creating a black hole. No. You're merely doing incremental research. That means from this, there is certain problem that you can find that you want to tackle. So you add new solution. That you add new variable. You add new system. You add new experimental method. You add new things you want to do. Okay, and then you move on. The next PhD will take from where you stop, they'll go to the next part and keep progressing. Okay, that's how research is nowadays. Very rarely people going back to fundamental research nowadays, right? So the next thing, exploring AI for literature matrix. Now let's use, no problem, Muhaimin. Now we go to AI tool. Okay, in this case, I want to use Litmap. I think some of you are familiar with Litmap. Some of you not. Some of you don't know. Some of you might not be using any AI tool. Okay. Some of you might be using connected papers, which is almost similar. Okay, almost similar. Either way, it should get you to the end point. Okay. Mariam, what should matter is contribution to knowledge, right? Rather than novelty. Yes. I don't think there is such thing called novelty anymore. Okay. Very hard for me to say that unless you're creating new particle, right? We as viewer is not as comprehensive as this. This is very comprehensive. Okay. So what do you think for find out article by using consensus website? Like I said, this is something like consensus also, and you will find the limitation today with consensus, with Eclipse, with this lead map. All of them have a very, very catastrophical nuclear level problem that many people don't know. Okay, many people don't tell you. When they sell to you, they don't tell you there is a very important problem. I am telling you now because I'm not selling any of this software. This software also I'm not selling. Okay, if you want to buy this software, you have to approach them directly. Or I can give you a contact, Dr. Raymond. He also sells this software. He has some referral code. But I personally am not selling any software. Okay, I can only... one moment. Sorry, I had visitor. Okay. So Semantic Scholar is actually quite good. Okay, Semantic Scholar is quite good. But for me, I still haven't found the advantage of Semantic Scholar over Google Scholar. Okay, Semantic Scholar is good, but I still cannot find it to be more superior than Google Scholar. So hence, I haven't really explored Semantic Scholar, but that is my next agenda. I want to explore Semantic Scholar, compare Google Scholar, and see whether is it relevant or not. Okay. So coming back to this, under seed map, okay, there are three options, three features, or lead map, not seed map, lead map. They got first option called seed maps, which does reverse and forward snowballing. Whatever I taught you earlier in Google Scholar, they do it here. Small map of top citations references to an article. This is the winning option, winning feature, discover. Explores a core article of its citations and references to identify highly relevant literature that are unexplored. So we'll be using this feature to create literature matrix. And then we have map, which basically is like VS viewer, like Jia just now said, site space versus viewer. This map is the viewer. All right. Okay, now let's go to the software. Okay, so this is the software. So we go to discover, we go new search. So so let me just explain very quickly the columns. So from this viewer, from this discover, you got search settings where you can input article, your seed article, and then you can also import from your reference manager. That means your Mendeley, your EndNote, your Zotero, and so on. You can add from your library, and you can also search using an ORCID author. So you go here, you paste. Okay, you paste the article, you click search. Okay, you have it already. So you click this, and then you add one input. Okay, so now very quickly, I will show you the problem with AI tool. You see here, this is citations, 114 citations. All right, so we click this. This is the references of the article itself. So when you do backward snowballing, this is important, right? You guys understand now, right? If you go cited by, this is forward snowballing. Okay, forward snowballing. Now, The problem here is when you go to cited by 114, just now Google Scholar got how many? Can anyone tell me? Yes, exactly. 207. The same paper here only shows 114. Why? Why do you guys think so? Why almost half of the cited by articles, that means all the future articles, are missing now? What is the problem? Why? Jaja, I ask you why. You ask me back why. I want you guys to answer why. Yes, Jaja. I also want to know the reason. This is Google Scholar. You see? 207 Google Scholar, cited by 207. You see here? Okay, 207. All the articles here are English. Okay, all the articles in Google Scholar are English. So cited by 207. But here, only 114. Just now someone asked me Semantic Scholar, right? The background of Litmap is Semantic Scholar. They use Semantic Scholar engine. This is the limitation of Semantic Scholar also. And most of the AI tool. Okay, they don't get access to all the literature. Okay, Science Direct, they don't give access. Elsevier, Web of Science don't give access. Scopus don't give access. Taylor Francis don't give access. Wiley don't give access. That means already 50% of the important papers in the world cannot be accessed by AI tools. So now I ask you the question. Do you think it is risky to use AI tools or not? 50%, 50. Risky or not risky? Yes. Very, 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 very high risk. Okay, not just risky. It is very, very, very high risk. That means, let's say your thesis references got 150 references. That you read, you write your thesis using AI tool, you go search, you got 150 references, you write your proposal, you write your thesis, whichever way, okay? Then you go to Viva, you go to candidature defense, you go to proposal defense. Your examiner throws 5 papers, boom, on the table. Okay? Happened before. 5 papers, just 5 papers. They say, why you never read these papers? These papers are very similar to your topic. I don't see this in your reference list. Why? Can you answer them? I use AI tool. The flow only show me 50% of the references. The rest of the flow don't show me. What can I do? I cannot do anything. Can you tell that to your examiner? Do you think the examiner will tell, it's okay lah, never mind lah. We all use AI tool, so it's okay. Okay, we leave it, no problem. Okay, I'll still give you PhD, never mind. Okay, do you think it's possible? How many AI tool you want to pay, Jaja? Rabbit, what is that? Eclipse, Litmap. How many you want to pay? Do you think the examiner will say, never mind, I feel so bad for you. The software seller sell you, you also go use, but what to do now? You never access already. 50% of references not there. So never mind lah. Okay, this time I let you go lah. I give you free PhD, never mind. I give you free masters, never mind. I feel very bad for you, so never mind lah. Do you think they will tell that? Do you think you're going to have a very good time in your Viva? That's a very good question, Wilbur. Also very good question, but maybe you can take it up with Google Scholar. It's been around since, I think, the late 90s, okay? It has more than 170 million, way more than that. So if you think people who created Google Scholar by Google, okay, one of the largest companies in the world, which you are doubting whether they are legit, versus AI tool, which you don't know who created, which bachelor student sitting in their house created the AI tool versus Google Scholar, which has been around, and I get my PhD from Google Scholar itself. Okay, I get my PhD because of Google Scholar. So, how would you answer your question, Wilbur? The same question, if you ask the examiner asks you back this, how will you answer? So let's say examiner now asking you, why you miss out 50% of references? Then you say, no, because I use AI tool. Then you ask them back, how sure are you 50% of the references I never miss out? How sure are you Google Scholar is correct? How sure are you that, all other missing references not relevant to me? Then the flow show you these are relevant. Read the papers. They are very much connected to you. Okay? Yeah, you can say that. You can say that I use AI tool to graduate. Let's see how they look at you. Okay, no, you don't need to be argumentative. Okay, if you want to back up AI tool, which clearly is not having all the references, clearly is lacking references, and clearly is not competitive towards Google Scholar, which has access to all the databases in the world, how are you going to win the argument? If your examiner asking you, there's a tool exists since the late 90s until now, more than 25 years, versus AI tool, which was created last year, how are you going to compare and win? How sure are you the AI tool, which has no branding, has no backing, okay, has no credible design, okay, and not having API access to most of the databases, and you claim that to be more credible versus Google Scholar, which has API access 100% to all the journals in the world? How are you going to win the argument? I understand. Most of you or some of you might be using AI tool, and this might come as a shocker. Okay, might come as a shocker. Because most people don't tell you this because they just want to sell. Simple. Okay. I would any time of the day, as what Sheila say, put my money, my head, my brain, everything that I have in Google Scholar. Because it is the most reliable in the world. Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar. These three are the most reliable in the world. All the professors and all the academicians in the world, researchers all over the world, are using these three main databases. How are we going to argue that an AI tool like Eclipse or Consensus or Litmap, all these that came in last year or early last year or early this year even, are more reliable than those? Think about it. Okay, I am here giving you the reality slap. Okay, with what do you call that? With evidence, simple evidence. I just shown you from the same paper. 50% of the publication cannot be shown. Google Scholar is showing the other 50% that cited this paper simply because they don't have the right access. So think about it before you use. And you will say, I can use this tool, I can use that tool, I can use this tool. How many tools you want to pay? How many tools you want to get access to? See, in the drive of AI, don't victimize yourself. And this is the reality that kicks in. Don't try to make yourself right while you know that you're not right. Okay? When you're wrong, not you're wrong. The tool that you use, if it is wrong, it is wrong. There's nothing you can do. If it doesn't have access, it doesn't have access. I know 100% that Science Direct, Web of Science and Scopus doesn't give API to most of the AI tools in the world. They don't. Because you know why? Web of Science is designed by Clarivate Analytics. Clarivate Analytics. Analytics. What is analytics? It 100% related to intelligence, data analytics and intelligence. Do you think that fella wants to give access a $1 billion company to some third-party software and sell all their data to AI tool? They don't. Even ChatGPT for Microsoft cannot access Web of Science. Cannot. I've proven that in my TikTok video already. I've done experiments. Scopus, owned by Elsevier, their net worth last year, $7 billion. Okay, they are one of the largest analytics company in the world for academia. Do you think they want to give access to this small tidbit software? No, they won't, because they can create their own software. Why they want to give out business to the rest, right? Think about it logically. Science Direct Scopus coming from the same company, Elsevier. Crelio Analytics is their own company. Okay, then you have Google Scholar. Why Google Scholar can access? Why? The next question you guys should ask is, why Google Scholar alone can access? Why all other databases cannot, all other AI tool cannot access? Because Google Scholar is free. So they are not making any money out of it. They're only collecting intelligent data, but they're not collecting money from you. So they have all the rights to access all these databases. Second thing, because Google is a very big company, you cannot say no to Google. You cannot say no to Google and then live in this world. Cannot. Okay, that's how it works. That's the capitalism lah. All right. So this is where you have to be very careful. But having said that, is this tool effective? Okay. So we select this, we go in, and then we can choose what algorithm you want. So here you got some semantic search, and AI semantic similarity algorithm detect articles with similar content. This is what they use, semantic scholar. Okay. And then co-authorship search, and then top connected. So we want to look at top connected. We want to look at all the relevant articles out there that are connected to this article. Okay, then we go to filters. You can add keywords if you want to, or you can add the date range. Okay, filter. So I want to do filter. Why filter? Because I want to look at the same apple-to-apple comparison lah. Okay, we must be fair to both sides. So these are all the articles. Okay, and so we have from 2000 all the way to 2018. 2000 to 2018. So we go here, we type 01. There is a bit of bug in this part. You need to retype it few times. December 2018. So we search. So you can see here, it's a bit buggy lah. So you have to go here, 01, 2000 to 12, 2018. Search again. Okay, now you can see it's correct. January 2000 to, sorry, still not correct. You have to, okay, now we see 01, 2000 to December 2018. So this is precise. This is the time range, right? So from here, if you go through this list, okay, you go through every part of this, all the way until the last tab. Okay, it goes up to 100 articles. Okay, cross-referenced. That is the result you get. All the green color. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 out of 14. Okay, 13 out of 14. That is where I'm coming now, Lee. Please motivate us to more use Litmap. Yeah, that's where I'm coming now. So 13 out of 14, that means almost 95% precision. Okay, out of Litmap that can be found. Only one article was not found. Stoll and Mohana, both Google Scholar and Litmap didn't find. Okay, but Litmap is still far superior from Google Scholar when it comes to intelligence. Okay, intelligence. So it shows you 95% plus, can be up to 98% if you calculate it, right? So 13 out of 14, you get 92%. 92% precision, all right? So that is what this article is very good about. Okay, so now you have to weigh the balance. Okay, one other trick you can do is you can download all the sources from Google Scholar. You can upload into this Fleur and do the cross-referencing here to make your life easier so that you know that this database somewhat is comprehensive. You can try that also. I haven't tried that, but you can try that also. You can download all the RIS files from Google Scholar, add into this as a library. Okay, you can add it here. Later, if you go back here, you can go to input articles. You can import from your reference manager. You can do that also. All right. So that one done. So from here, you can select. Let's say certain articles you want to do further search. You can select and then you can expand the search further. So you expand. So this will get you more connection from the selected articles that you find relevant. You want to get more references, right? More sources. Then you can expand further. Bit more time. Surprisingly taking more time. I don't know why. Try refreshing. Okay. So these are the 11 inputs and these are all the additional new papers. See, all the yellow ones are from the previous search. And then now you get further new ones. The black ones are all new. So that's how you can expand the search and look at all the interconnected search. Okay, interconnected search. Okay. So to further validate this, okay, let's say you have already decided these are all the papers you want, then you can click. You can click the detail, you can read the abstract, you can go to the paper directly, you can look at references cited by, and then you can also download, you can export. Okay, you can export. You can export and download it as RIS file, whatever files that you want, but normally RIS file into your EndNote, Mendeley, and so on. Okay, so that's the main part of literature matrix here. And then you can go to the map. Map, we just see one example. This is map, and that's how the mapping looks like. Okay, these are all the connections from the beginning 2000 all the way to 2018 or 2017. These are all the connectivity of the paper. So from here, you can see where the connections are going. And from here, you can further go to latest papers as well. Right? So that's all I'm going to show about Litmap. Any questions? Okay. I know from the conversation, I can see some of you are very worried. It's okay if you already start using it. Maybe you need to do an extra vigilant search to make sure that you're not missing out on any papers. If you ask me, when it comes to searching part, I always 100% still rely on Google Scholar, Web of Science, and Scopus. Because those are, okay, this is the limitation of AI in a common domain versus academia domain. Okay, common domain, when you use AI map to do PowerPoint, or AI to do PowerPoint, or AI to what do you call that, to write email, AI to write things for you, it's okay. But when it comes to academia, you rely on literature. There is no any other segment of business in the world that rely on literature compared to us. When you rely on literature, okay, the databases must give you access, right? When you don't have that access, no matter how intelligent is the software, I shown you the precision part of the software, it doesn't give you the confidence when you use it. Okay, that's the problem I'm having. And that's why I'm sharing this with you today. Before any catastrophic problem, okay, and I'm not saying all of you are going to have that kind of examiner, but some of you might have, especially sitting in UM. You're already on UM, UPM, USM, all these universities. You're already sitting on hot bowl. Okay, you're getting boiled. So if you go one simple mistake, okay, papers that might do 60-70% of what you're doing already, that is a huge risk. Okay, that's what I really wanted to, two different things I wanted to highlight. One, the weakness of Google Scholar, how to do literature matrix very, very, very quickly, and how you can use AI tool. But at the same time, I also must present, it's my fiduciary responsibility to you to tell you what are the weaknesses. Because you know why? People don't tell you this because they just want to sell. I am telling you this, though this is services for me, I'm selling services, but I cannot allow you to fail. Okay, because I cannot go back and sleep. All right, because I know how tough is master's and PhD journey. You guys put everything you have into it, all your blood and sweat, everything into it. So we cannot take so much of risk. So you must be very, very vigilant in the amount of risk that you're taking. Okay, and I am here to guide you on how much of risk you should take. So it is up to you to decide now. You have seen the evidence, you have seen the techniques, you have seen which are more reliable. You should decide what would be the best option for you. Okay. Another big problem is, I can tell you this, that many people don't know. Most supervisors, they don't know how to use AI tool. Most to most, they know ChatGPT. They go in, they type things and so on. That's it. After I start raising awareness on the weaknesses of ChatGPT, most supervisors also start stepping back already. Okay, I also do classes for supervisors directly through a research management center and so on. So they don't know the weakness also. After I shared the TikTok video, I think I got more than 150,000 views, I think, on that TikTok video about ChatGPT. They didn't know until now. Because you know why? One more reason. Okay, this is one more reason. One more reason. If all these journals, Web of Science, Scopus Indexing, Science Direct, Wiley, Taylor, Francis, all these people, if they give free access to all the AI tools, ChatGPT and all these things, they will go bankrupt. Okay, they will go bankrupt. You know why they will go bankrupt? Because all the universities, they are paying these journals abundance of money to access their database. If their database is given out free to all these AI tools, universities will stop paying. Do you think university want to pay money if they're given free chance? Of course, they don't want. Then this journal, these companies will go out of will go out of business. That's why they're very particular on who they want to give access to. All right. So be very, very careful on your decisions. Okay. So that is lead map for all of you. Let me move to AI done, all this done. Now let's go to from matrix, where do we go? Okay, before we get to this part, any questions? Sorry if I make some of you unhappy. I'm very sorry. That's not my intention today. But this is the reality lah. I wanted to share. Okay, so any questions that you guys have? No problem at all, no worries. If you want to investigate, okay, from the AI tool that you guys have, whether Consensus, Eclipse or whatever, no problem, Wilbur, no worries. If you want to check out the reliability of the software that you use, you can do this kind of tests. You can see whether it actually gives out the actual result it's supposed to give out or not. Okay, make sure you go and check. Whatever you want to use, remember, AI tool, what is the weakness of Google Scholar? I just showed you. It is not as intelligent as you want it to be. Okay. But you can still do manual labor. Okay. I don't think manual labor is a wrong thing to do as long as you are on the safe side. Okay. As long as you're on the safe side. Okay. All right. So matrix explanation. This is from a thesis that we consulted very long ago. Student graduated already, Dr. Siva from UUM. This is a literature matrix that we consulted for this student. Okay, we consulted the whole journey, and this literature matrix is one of it. This is what we call as non-comprehensive or incomprehensive literature matrix. That means not very detailed, just few columns only, and then done, just to show some important studies. And even the explanation also will be very, very short, very, very short explanation, because nothing much to discuss. It's not in detail. All right. Then you have something like this. This is what we call comprehensive literature matrix. You can see the amount of information you have here. With all this information jotted down, let me warn you, this will take very long time to do. This is not easy to do. Not easy at all. It's a very time-consuming thing to do, but very solid to have, very good thing to have. Okay, from here, all right, from here, type 2 comprehensive. What can you do from the literature matrix? You can check You can check every parameter appearing in the literature. You can check the common variables. Every parameter means these are all the parameters. And then number 2, check common variables. Those can be overexploited variables, perhaps something new that you can look at. Okay, something new that you can explore. Then number 3, what were the common theory used if you want to explore theoretical approach, and common methods used. So this all will give you essential information on the current available literature. So you can, again, I emphasize, if you don't have a comprehensive one, if you use AI tool, if this is not comprehensive, you're missing out on a lot of information, all right, which is very risky, all right? Then how do you explain this? You explain it from top to bottom, okay, in ascending order from the oldest to the newest. That's how you explain. Example, this is from Green Supply Chain Management PhD. This is one example. The role of drivers in the adoption of GSM practices was studied in 6 papers in the earlier period, perhaps because only a few manufacturing companies in the EEE, Asia Economic something, had implemented the GSM practices by then. Zhu et al. So they started from the first paper. And then you can see they will explain line by line. Okay, then they will talk about how many papers published since 2010, talk about literature on certain area, and then, they'll go step by step. And then here you can see these practices have widely used by other researchers to measure the adoption of GSM practices in manufacturing sectors in Malaysia, all of these, and India and Taiwan. Okay, then only 4 review paper classify GSM practices into specific categories, then they go according to that. You have to really break down bits and pieces, nuts and bolts. Everything you need to break down. That's what makes your literature review super duper concrete. Okay, super duper concrete. Don't worry, I'll share the PDF file with you so you can have a look how they explain. Okay, but this is just some purview to you. Please don't put a table and then never explain. Okay, don't do that. When you put a table, make sure you explain. Right? Razalin, can we expand on existing comprehensive reviewed paper? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Like we only take those from 2013 onwards, then add a few more latest paper, add a few more columns. Oh, you mean from the existing literature matrix? Turn it in will kill you, first of all. It will flag it out massively. Okay, one more important information. I don't know if you have attended my previous classes or not. Whatever write-up you're taking from AI, whether ChatGPT, Google Bard, Jenny AI, whatever, everything will be flagged by Turnitin now. Turnitin AI will flag everything. Already tested also. I shared very long ago, few months ago, on TikTok. Now, as I progress, I do the test all the time. Easily, it's checking out already. So don't take any write-up as it is from any AI tool. You cannot see, when they scan Turnitin as a student, you cannot see the AI option. Only your supervisors and library can see that AI function. Unless the supervisor give their login and password, then only you can see. All right. So Razalin, coming to your question, first, Turnitin will kill you. Second, you won't really have novelty. Not novelty, you won't really have a strong contribution unless you combine a few different literature matrix and then you combine more studies. You try to make a different sense out of it, then maybe can. All right, then maybe can. Okay, so this is a thesis that we worked on, okay, that we coached and consulted Dr. Sharifah, all the way from 2019 until now. Okay, literature matrix from a thesis passed without correction. Our finest protege among 32,000 documents we have worked on. Without any correction, PhD in UM is close to impossible. Okay, I've never seen before. This is the first one I've seen. Even I cannot express how proud we are. This is the first that we have achieved. Okay, and that is her literature matrix, showing how detailed it can be. Okay, this is how detailed it can be. And then from here, you can see this is her Viva Voice output, Dr. Sharifah, without any amendments or corrections. Now, adding on to this is a topic, the development of a cognitive intervention module for post-chemotherapy breast cancer survivors. Okay, 3 major reasons that she got out without correction. Okay, passing PhD is one thing. Getting PhD without correction is another thing altogether. The joy of getting that is different level, because you know why? After your Viva, you can compile and submit. No, you do any correction ready. No more correction ready. Okay, that's the beauty of it lah. So first reason why she got PhD without correction, her publication. This is the examiner report. This is confidential. Examiner report. The candidate has already published substantial components of the thesis. One of the reason that she got zero correction is a publication, right? And you can see how comprehensive her work was. Okay. Okay. How do we normally assist students? Okay, students and academicians also. Okay, students, academician, and she is also from UM, a professor from UM. We assist both components also, even ministry, up to ministry also. So what do? We do publication, content editing, Scopus and Web of Science. And then upon publication, we guide and coach students from the beginning of their PhD proposal all the way to defense and candidature defense, proposal defense. We will consult them. We will also teach them how to convert their thesis to journal. Then we guide them through their mock defense. We guide them through after their proposal defense or candidature defense, after their thesis viva, how to respond to all the examiner's comments. We also prepare them before defense and viva, with slides and how to defend and so on their work. And we also support them throughout their chapter 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. It depends on the number of chapters that you have. Data analysis and interpretation. That's what we do. And this is how Dr. Sharifah planned her papers. First paper that she wrote was systematic review, okay, which went for Scopus. All right, we proudly paraphrase, proofread, and also coach some of the papers. And then next paper went for empirical directly. Web of Science, Impact Factor 2.4, Q2, Taylor Francis. Then the subsequent paper was number 3, Web of Science, Impact Factor 3.5, Q2, also empirical paper, experimental lah. And then this one is Delphi, SCI Web of Science, Impact Factor 3.7, Q1, plus 1. So that's how she strategized her publications. All right. Make sure you publish in your PhD master's journey. That will make your viva much, much easier. Okay. Cheng Ling Ling. Is it enough to just use Google Scholar or you to use search one by one with Web of Science Scopus? If you do systematic review, actually you need to do Google Scholar, Scopus, and Web of Science. Minimum requirement. If you do narrative review, that means normal literature review, then Google Scholar is enough, but you need to cross-check the indexing. Because the problem with Google Scholar, the weakness of Google Scholar, someone asked the question earlier, they also give you predatory journals. So you need to cross-check if better for you lah. Okay, don't think of it as extra work. This is to secure yourself from citing and reading useless journals. So you can counter-check with Web of Science and Scopus. Okay. How important? Okay, first reason, publication. Second reason was her detailed, experimental, and strength of her thesis. Third reason, proofreading, her language, her communication. Okay, at the era of Grammarly and all other AI tool, she still used the old school method. We paraphrased, proofread, edited, and structured her entire thesis, although we did her publication, but we also did her thesis also. Okay, basically we proofread, paraphrase her papers, her proposal. At the end was her thesis, this thesis. Okay, and this is the comment from her examiners. The thesis is largely well written with no stylistic concerns. The moment you get this, you know already that you're going to get minor correction at the minimum. Minor correction at the minimum. All right. And that is the amount of changes that actually a thesis will undergo compared to Grammarly. Grammarly will just change one word only. It won't rewrite like this. That's the problem. Okay. Wealth designer means that publication helps us to be at least on track. Yes, of course. Of course. Publication is one of, no, I would say it's the most important aspect of your PhD and Masters. Okay. And having said that, for those who are going towards their proposal and thesis, you can take up Ultimate Thesis Package to proofread and paraphrase, up to 30% off for proofreading, not paraphrasing, for proofreading, translation, and formatting services. We will format everything for you. And you will be given lifetime language warranty. Same goes to your journal also. Journal, you'll get 10 and 20% off, depending on your page count. All right? And for today, how much for guidance? Okay, if you want to discuss on that, better WhatsApp. We can discuss on that later. This is my WhatsApp link. You can connect to me directly. We'll take it offline. So for today's class, these are the free notes you're going to get. You're going to get a literature matrix for qualitative and mixed method study, sample thesis with literature matrix, and literature matrix in Word template so that you can edit and modify as you wish. All right. So for those who, this one is the date changed already. I haven't updated this. But for those who want to attend my upcoming Facebook live classes, these are the links. You can register yourself. The class will be, I think, in first week of December. Okay. So this is where we are located in Cyberjaya. Okay, that's our office there. If you want to drop by, please set a prior appointment. Then we can meet up. We can discuss, or we can also do it online or even over phone call if you want to discuss something. All right. That is our Google review so far. You can check out our Google review and our Facebook review as well. So with that, thank you. Oh yeah. By the way, don't forget. Please make sure you utilize ZASS Print. Actually, very easy printing lah. I wish I had platform like ZASS Print during my PhD and Master's Day. I don't need to go to physically to a shop to print. So make sure you use the platform, use it and see whether it's user-friendly or not. Okay. So with that, thank you very much, guys. Thanks for your time today. Let me close the sharing. Stop sharing. Okay. All right. Done. Okay. So let me remove me from Spotlight. Okay. I think I'll stop the recording as well. Saran, I stopped the recording, Okay, Saran already shared the link to ZASS Print, So make use of ZASS Print. So I stop the recording also. So later, are you sure you want to stop recording to the cloud? Yes.